but you have feelings and you're being present with those feelings. So for me, it's going back to allowing a person to be in that moment, to experience what's coming to them, regardless of their age, and help them to get the language to understand it so they can take it on, and then they can work with it and know that when I am feeling, for lack of a better word, blue, when things are not rosy, doesn't mean that the rainbows aren't there, doesn't mean the sun isn't there. When people say, oh, it's just such a terrible day, a bad day, it's a cold, rainy, bad day, and I think, no, there's nothing wrong with the day. The day is fine. It's a good day, like any other day. It is a day. It's how you're perceiving it. And because you're not present to experience what that day presents to you, you're knocking it off as a bad day because you don't see the sun and you don't see the rainbows and people are not throwing their arms open to embrace you. It's still a perfectly good day. So what are you going to enjoy in that moment that's being presented to you? That's what matters in that day. So, I agree with you. Curiosity and openness to express. Yinka does it very beautifully with his 2-year-old, where he reminds her that she is complete, that she is whole, that he understands. She doesn't have all of the language, but I can see that he's opening the space for her to feel frustration, to feel anger, to feel whatever it is that she's experiencing, that it is okay. And that's how you begin to support people in building what I call the spectrum of experiences that keep us present.
Great noticing.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. I think that, having a 2-year-old and twins really has taken me back to understanding our core essence, because I'm trying to teach her emotions. She says, I think you were there the other day when she said, sad, Daddy. She's 2, right? And I'm trying to teach her emotions because I think part of part of our construct, our built construct, if we accept that 50% is nature and 50% is nurture, right? 50% of the nurture side is that we focus on good and bad. We give these things names. So it's a rainy day, it's not great. And it's a sunny day, it's great. The rainbow we can see is fantastic. We can't see the rainbow, not good. And I think that how do we get in touch with feeling and understanding our emotions? And we try and do that with her, even when she's crying and yelling at her. I'm like, that's it, darling, get it out. It's okay, get it out. Because I think that, as Peter said, somebody sent a message in the chat and said, if we're to erase all our mistakes, we'll be erasing ourselves. But we define these as mistakes. The wonderful Dr. I think she's called Dr. Esther Carol Weck, talks about not yet. And she does an experiment where she goes into schools in the US and she teaches the kids that there's no failure. Instead of replacing you failed, it's not yet. And it's beautiful because I think that that's where we have a fear of failure. But failure doesn't really exist. It's just you're getting to a better understanding of it. You can't read something the first time and fully grasp it. You can't start with a dance and fully understand it. And that definition then leads the kids to not think I failed, but think I've just not got it yet. And I think the essence of life, ultimately, if we could all stay in that presence and understand that half the time, I think, and I say half the time, but I think 90% of the time, we're focused on other people's goals because we look at something that somebody has and thinks, that's what I want. Because we're coaches here, we go into personal and professional. How can we, what common threads can we come away with, or what common threads can we focus on that help both personal and organizations this time of the year is the question I want to pose to you both. And Peter, of course, if you're with us.
Thank you, Inga. I'd say if you are a small organization with a small staff, my gift of presence and to dance with life is to honor people where they are. Bring playful experiences to the office. Listen to them. Ask them how they really are. In order to bring goals and a new year, instead of just doing activities that distract people, that add more distraction, like alcohol and things that take people out of their body, create experiences where they can talk to one another and really get to know each other. For instance, I'll throw this challenge out there. If you don't already have coaches in your organization, why don't you invite a coach in? Invite a coach in to do some team building. Invite a coach in to bring some creative getting to know you activities. Do something where people can, in a thoughtful, facilitated, but playful way. For instance, my husband is a drum circle facilitator, and he uses rhythm to help people live, work, and play well together. His business is called Drum for Change. Drum for Change. His name is Greg Witt, Witt. He brings rhythm experiences to the workplace, to congregations, to communities, to corporations, and it is a playful way to bring people together. And what they learn is they learn about the humanity of the organization. Businesses are made of people. So I'd say challenge yourself to check in to what's around you and see if there is a creative consultant, which is also what I do, is I'll bring in movement. I can bring in dance. I can bring in mindfulness. I can bring in creative expression. And these are very unusual ways for people to get to know each other on a human level. We're human beings, not human doings. We forget that. And when we're human beings, not human doings, and we forget that. So if we connect with each other on a human level, we develop a sense of trust, empathy, compassion, and that can go a long way for carrying a mission and goal setting for any small to large organization, far more so than our standard Christmas party, than a standard, end of year bash where people get drunk and then they forget that they even, or they say the wrong thing at a party. So my challenge is consider developing human relations differently in your social practices that you have in your workplace. Bring in a coach, bring in creative concepts that help you honestly check in and see how people are. That's my contribution, and thank you so much for that great question, Inka.
Fantastic, thank you. That was lovely. I'm going to look up. In fact, I've already got Greg up because the absolutely.
He has the flu right now, so you need at least a week.
We'll have to get him over to London or Nigeria or across the world. But
absolutely. Well, and he's actually the executive director of the International Drum Circle Facilitators Guild, which is a thing. This is an organization that is worldwide and that lets you know where there is a facilitator nearby you. But you can certainly, have a call and connect with them and learn more.
Yeah, no, love that. We had a meeting yesterday. I won't go into it, but one of the big takeaways for me was that it was two different countries, and the thing they were both missing was that they are two of these countries have the richest culture, right? When it comes to music, when it comes to art, when it comes to fabrics and textiles. But yet, the guy gave a beautiful example. He said that most times we're looking north. And again, it is about introspection, it's about internal, because that's where the power is. The power is inside us, as opposed to looking out to find, I want that. When ultimately, I mean, I do a thing about change versus transformation, and I say that change is using those external influences to modify the results we want to get. But the real power is in transformation. When I was doing your introduction, I emphasized transformation, because every time I hear it, I think people just say change and transformation. But when we've got to a good place, we understand that transformation is internal. It's about modifying those internal belief systems so that our natural actions achieve the results, as opposed to looking for external influences to change that. And I love going, and every organization I always talk about, I always say it's people first. If we get the internal people working, then there's nothing that's not achievable.
Absolutely. I mean, it does come back to people, doesn't it? And when we recognize that this world, this present moment involves others, and there's an interconnectivity with people, it only enables us to be more aware and more present in our interactions and in the things that we do. I know that our time is fast rounding up over here. I very much would like to just find out, what are your nuggets as we end 2023 on Thinking Reimagined? What's your nugget? What's your gift that you're going to bestow at this moment to our listeners?
My gift is the gift of gratitude and presence. It's what we started with. And Dr. Amma, you shared that your life began in 2023 in unexpected ways, and you were transparent and vulnerable with us. And we are all on a journey of the uncertainty and unknown, and we share those changes of life with you. And so my gift to those listening, and to Inka and your children, you mentioned you have twins, did you say?
Yes.
Blessings to your family. So for those listening, I certainly appreciate everyone's presence here. Presence is a gift, and it is worth giving. When we are present, we are giving ourselves. We don't live in islands. We live in community. And we learned, of course, through COVID, being isolated is a terrible feeling. So to be present is to be the gift. So with that, I thank you for your asking, for your contribution. It's been such a gift to be here today. My name is Annalise. My business is Conduit for Change, and my specialty is in providing resources for creative transformation on a personal level, and an organizational level, and a societal level. My gift is presence. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
On your show this morning.
much.
Dr. Amma and Inka. And Peter.
And Peter. Yes,
yeah.
Peter is still with us. Yinko, some final words, your gifts.
Oh, so
audience.
beautiful, so beautiful. Your gift is the present. I'm truly present. I'm just, I feel like I'm absorbed, and I'm absorbing and truly in here. And I think that's the best times. I think that the very quick thing is that when we can be present, we get the gift. I have to amplify that, Andy. Sorry, I'm stealing that.
Go for it. Amplify, yes.
And when we take away what we're worried about from the minute ago or yesterday, and when we lose. Somebody wise said, if you have one foot in yesterday and the other in tomorrow, you're in the perfect position to piss on today. Sorry for the visual, but I just thought that would be it. So if we can be in today, at this moment, everything is as it should be, all right? Then we've got more chance of the next minute building on that. However, if we are in two places at one time, then we're not present and we're not actually going to be we're not realistically going to build on anything. So just that visualization of one foot in yesterday, the other in tomorrow, let's not give away our gift. And every time we get worried about something we've done or anxiety about something that's about to happen, let's try and bring ourselves back to right now. And that's my conclusion or my last words. Hope that helps.
It really is beautiful. Peter, are you able to join us and share your gift?
Well, my gift, or what I would say I've learned, because what I've learned is that life happens. And I say this because I've always said when I was growing up, nobody ever taught me how to handle what we label as failures. But I've come to learn that life happens. The first time I had something traumatic when my dad died, I thought the sky was going to turn purple and everybody was going to know. And nobody even cared or knew, except for the nuclear family. So life happens and you have to be present and not have this mindset that the world will change if something happens. So you have to be present. And I've learned to be present in myself and accept, well, I wouldn't call it accept because I don't accept things. Present in myself and know that things happen either or not, but being there, being conscious is what I've learned.
Thank you so much. So much has been said today, from the gift of presence to the gift of being open to the moment, to accepting what life presents and recognizing that failure is not a failure, but it is the getting better at it and being open to making progress. I am grateful for your presence today because I know that there's a reason we're here at this moment in time. I value time and I value the opportunities that are presented to me, regardless of how they come, because I recognize that it may not come in a beautiful wrapped box, but it is coming. And so I hope that all of us will continue to live in presence, in gratitude, and recognize when opportunities present themselves, because they do present themselves, and to embrace it however it comes, so that we can continue to live in a world of feeling and being and presence and experience. Thank you so much for joining us. It's our final episode for 2023. We look forward to seeing you in 2024, and may this be a period of gratitude and presence for all. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Many
Thank you all.
blessings. Peace, peace, many blessings.
Peace. Many blessings indeed.
And to all our viewers out there, thank you for being with us all through the year, and see you next year.
Absolutely, much love.
Bye, Peter.
Recording stopped.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Allah.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. I so
Thank you,
appreciate it.
everyone.